Seriously, another one?
Hey guys, I've finally been able to create a working RC plane, but it sure has taken a while. In fact, it's taken over 6 months. Throughout this time, I've had lots of mistakes, starting with thinking I could build any plane that I saw on YouTube, which for me was this really cool RC jet that I'd seen. It ended up taking a good amount of time to actually build it, and when I thought I was ready to fly, that was when I realized I had some learning to do. And that was not including anything I'd already learned with the electronics side of things, and getting the other things to actually work. As a result, I decided the best course of action would be to build a flight test trainer. And again, this unfortunately didn't really work, and I'm assuming it was because the wings were not level, though it could also be because I didn't realize where the center of gravity was supposed to go, or due to my building skills. So yeah, there was a lot of factors going into that one that could easily be the cause of it. This plane again had similar results as with the jet and ended up getting completely destroyed, and I only have the tail left. This was actually not just because of crashes, this was because I actually took it apart to reuse the components for the next plane that I was going to build. This other plane was actually another flight test plane, and it was the Nutball. This plane I actually ended up building with a friend. Wait, oh, come on.
It flew for a second and then got stuck in the ground.
Originally, this plane didn't really have amazing results, though it was a lot better than the previous plane, since it could actually fly a bit. Hey, yes, let's go. Because this plane was pretty simple, I ended up remaking it, but this time with a 3D printable box for the electronics and a wooden front, because I was having issues with the front end melting due to the motor getting pretty hot. The 3D printable files will be available on Prusa printers for anyone who does happen to have a 3D printer and happens to want them. But plane-wise, this second version of the Nutball actually worked, though a little hard to control. Unfortunately, after a couple of crashes, this plane was becoming more and more unusable. But still, it wasn't completely gone. Instead of fixing it right away, I decided to try another flight test plane, this one being the Mini Scout. And I ended up testing it with my cousin. It immediately tried to attack him. Yeah, not necessarily what you want for an RC plane. But yeah, that was definitely my fault. So, of course, we tried it again.
Yeah. I'm just gonna chill in here.
Lightly. Yeah, go. I think it was pretty good-ish. Like up.
Greasy. Okay. Yeah. It's connected. That was actually kind of cool. Oh,
None of these results were amazing, but after those mini fights, he wanted to see a plane that actually flew. So we took out the nutball again, even though it was pretty windy. Yeah, spoiler, that was a bad idea. The good old nutball, rest in pieces. Yeah, it turns out that was a horrible idea due to the plane landing in the water. Then to make it even worse, this happened. Though I will say the water would have destroyed this plane either way. Impressively, the electronics, all of them seemed to be working except the ESC, which I was absolutely stoked about. I did not think that would happen. I thought everything was broken. From this point, I ended up taking around a month-long break with not spending any time on planes due to the fact that I really hadn't gotten an RC plane that worked really well. Sure, the nutball would fly, but I could never really to get it to land properly, which would end with me trying to fix it before too long. This is when my other cousin came, who's made a lot of planes, and generally has a lot of experience making them. This is when he told me about a different RC plane that I had actually never heard of, and it was a plane that he said would be pretty good for a beginner like me. This plane was actually kind of a mix between an RC sled and an RC plane, but it did fly, so I was still totally fine with it. This plane was also done by RC Test Fight, a YouTube channel that I'd actually hadn't heard of before now. With him to help me build it, it really only took around 1 to 2 hours, which is way less than any of the other planes I've built so far. When we got outside to test it, it actually flew! Like, finally! And yeah, I was totally ecstatic about that success. Because it totally felt that I hadn't wasted all that time on these RC planes for nothing. But not only did it fly, it flew really well. As a result, I ended up spending around a full day of just flying, so when a battery would run out, I would go in, charge it, swap it out for the other one, because I had 2 batteries, which basically allowed me to fly for the whole day. And I got some actually pretty cool footage. But otherwise, that's been my experience with RC planes. I'll have a video on the tips for RC planes if you're interested in building one yourself next week. But yeah, my experience has been both good and bad, but aside from that, thanks for watching. Here's the compilation, and bye.
Bye.